out in Darklands. Welcome to the Touristico Gaylive Podcast.
Hi Darklands, how are you doing?
Hi everyone, welcome at Darklands, welcome at Regilio. I hope I say it good because Rocky always killed someone that said it wrong. Okay.
So my name is Mark.
And I'm Sven. Welcome, take a drink, just go sit on a table and enjoy the show for today.
We've got 4 exciting guests for you lined up today. The first one is no less than George.
Yeah, George, come on the stage, get on the stairs. Our second is the new Mister Leather Belgium, elected yesterday. So give him a big of applause, our new Mister Leather Belgium, Jurgen.
Then we've got the European version of the Mister Leather Belgium, Mister Leather Europe Tom Keller. Give him an applause, please.
And then finally, a man who wrote a fantastic book, Leather Mentorship, Tebias Perry.
Hey! Welcome.
Welcome all at Touristico Gaylive.
Good morning.
Let's see, who all survived Darklands already? Georges, did you survive? I think you didn't sleep yet.
No, I didn't sleep yet. I think they can carry me off in the coffin.
Jurgen, congratulations with your election. People, an applause for our new Mister Leather Belgium. Did you already, imagine, okay, I have won?
This morning I realized, but from yesterday I have some members of the jury next to me, they were asking really difficult questions. I was in shock. So after this I'm gonna look for a right punishment.
Okay.
No.
Any candidates for that? For that punishment? Any candidates for that?
I don't know.
Is there a candidate to punish Mister Leather Belgium? Raise your hand if you want to punish Mister Leather Belgium.
There's a waiting list.
Yeah.
There's a waiting
list. You have a waiting list, Jurgen. You have a waiting list. And then our next guest is, I'm sorry, Mark, there is a beautiful man here in the audience, and it's not you.
Yeah, no, I'm the least beautiful.
It's Tom Keller, our Mister Leather Europe. Welcome.
Oh, I'm going red because of that. Thank you.
Do you like Darklands?
Well, I can't say no, can I? Quite frankly, if you ask me on stage, really. I think somebody at Folsom Europe asked me that question. We were all on stage, like Folsom or Darklands. It's like, I mean, if you want to cancel me, that's one question that you need to ask. But no, Darklands. Long story short, it's always needed, and it's been a great institution over the past, however long Darkland's been going on for. That's a pop quiz question, right?
Yeah. Tobias, you're okay because you were walking a little difficult today when you came in.
Yeah, it's different. It's different just sitting down today.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It's
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you enjoy Darklands already?
Yeah, it's been quite overwhelming. It's been different, but I feel like it's just been work because this is what all of us on the panel, what we do. It feels like work, but I've had a great time.
Okay.
It's been an experience.
Today you will know more about our guests. We have our Touristico Gaylive news brought by Mark, and we have an agenda with the best leather events all over the world. And at the end of the show, people, we have 2 awards. Our Touristico Gaylive Award for the best LGBTQ event of last year, and our Icon of the Year. And both things are here at Darklands. So stay till the end to see which 2 people will win the awards.
And we also have to give a shout out to Ben Tully from dirtystudio.co. He gave us permission to use those beautiful graphics on the screen.
And our t-shirts.
Our t-shirts.
Our t-shirts.
So go
Do you
visit.
like our t-shirts?
Yes, I want one.
I sell them for €100, George.
So
Keep it.
give Ben a follow on his Instagram at dartystudio.co. So, time for our first guest, George, or our two first guests, George and Jurgen. Welcome.
Bedankt om ons te hebben.
Yeah. And how are you surviving Darklands today?
I'm still surviving. I'm still here, so still alive. No, I'm living on adrenaline, and it's so nice. So many warm people. It gives me all the energy. I mean, even if you're tired, but I feel the good vibes. They come from everywhere. International guests, and it's amazing. It's wonderful.
Yeah. Introduce yourself. Who is the new Mister Leather Belgium? What do you do in a daily life?
It's classified information. No.
Okay.
I won't talk without my lawyer. So.
Okay.
No. I'm
Can we then see it on Just for Fans?
I work as a policeman, so I'm working in a...
Wait. Do we have other policemen here?
No. The other one
I don't think so.
the other one is undercover, I guess.
George, are you undercover today?
Yeah, don't you see that?
He's dressed up now.
George, what were the qualities for you for choosing Jurgen as Mr. Leather Belgium?
First of all, they have something to say, intelligent, open to other people, know their history, and know what they want to do. And I think the judges did a good job.
You have Kleenex here because I'm getting emotional now. No, it's really, wow, nice.
Jurgen, I know you because in 2016 I saw you winning in Brussels the Mr. Bear election.
Wow, you did a good job. Good job.
I was there. I was a little bit younger and a little bit cuter than now, but okay. But I saw you winning over there. It's an all different election, Mr. Bear, Mr. Leather. Why you choose to do now the Mr. Leather election?
It's a very good question. I have 1 hour to answer.
Yeah.
So
Sorry,
you're
yes,
the ones you can go and have a coffee. No, actually the story started in 2016. I was in Sitges and there was the Bear Pride. And it's like, I didn't know it was Bear Pride. And it's like, there's nothing for me, this bear community, I don't know them. But then I went out, I met people, and those people became kind of friends, and it's like, wow, they're so social people. And so like, well, if you want, we have this Mr. Bear election in September. I was like, okay, why not? So then I participated at the election, then I won. And one of the gifts was a voucher of Mr. B, so also a leather outfit. And it's like, wow, it looks good on me, and it's also nice. It's a bigger community than the bear community, and it's actually, I cannot say bigger, but because we are one community at all. I was like, why not? And one of my commitments as Mr. Bear was to give self-defense, because as a policeman I see a lot of people, LGBTQ, are a victim of homophobia, violence. I was like, I have to stop this, I have to teach this lesson. So I started it, but then came Corona, this bitch. She ruined. And I said, like, I have to move on like this. And now I give self-defense to transgender. And I see, like, in our community, we have a lot of sensitive people, fragile people. And sometimes we don't dare to speak up. I say, like, this is one of my things, to speak up, to stand up for them, to make them stronger and protect themselves, and give them some tips if they're a victim of. So that's one of my projects I want to do with as Mr. Leather. So yeah.
Do you know how you're going to handle your project next year? What can we expect from that?
Well, now it's overwhelming, but I did in the past, so I have the people I work with. There's also the organization I work with for this teaching self-defense classes. I still have to look for the locations and where and when, but I will start as soon as possible, of course. It starts now, so it's not only this, it's the fun part, but also to make a change.
Yeah. We've got a lot of titles here. Does anyone can give Jurgen a tip how to handle his leathermanship for the next year?
It's a mentorship.
What I would say is to honestly pace yourself, because there's so much more of a need for visibility now with titles, but the requirement should come directly from your producers and what they expect of you. But there's a lot that you have to do on your own, is to go out and seek opportunities and bridges for Europeans and America. You have to make those bridges and keep them going so that we can learn more about each other. So I would really just challenge you just to pace yourself.
Can I do it another year then? Because to build a bridge to America, it will take time. Oops, sorry.
Oh, you can give me two. I think more than anything, Jurgen, this year is going to completely fly by. So whilst obviously this is a real work for advocacy and being a representative of your Belgian community, make sure to have fun at the same time. Obviously, do your diligence, represent the sash well, MSC Belgium and the country, but make sure to enjoy yourself as well. That's always a bit of advice that sometimes we forget. Long story short, I don't know if anybody can agree with us there.
Yes.
You've got, George, you've got a lot of titles.
Yeah. No, a very important thing is stay your authentic self. And don't take crap from everybody else. When people gonna say what you need to do and must do, and you don't have to do anything. It's your year and you choose what you're gonna do.
The Mister Leather Belgium title is chosen by MSC Belgium. Can you explain a little bit about what MSC Belgium is about?
I just gave the mic on Tom. MSC Belgium is the Motorsports Club Belgium. It's originated in the 70s, came over from the States. And in the beginning it was some kind of cover-up for gay men. They couldn't gather together, so there were men in leather on a bike, and that made it okay for the police. And then it evolved. It evolved until now. And in the beginning it was only leather. Now it's leather, rubber, all kind of fetishes.
Now, George, you won a lot of titles, and you were second places, third places, all those things. Sometimes I think doing elections for you is a fetish. But
I never thought of that, but maybe you can be right. It's also a punishment for yourself.
But tell me, what are your qualities why you always win, or second or third? I don't know. Give us a reason. What are your qualities?
Because the rest is always worse. So I don't have any special qualities.
So
no, I'm always myself. What you see is what you get.
So there's no special sauce or something involved?
No.
No.
Are we going to see a bit more of Miss Plastique in the near future?
But Tom, I'm gonna tell you a secret. This last summer we thought he finished with leather because he was as drag queen on Antwerp Pride, and we thought this is the end of George.
But I think
What a ugly woman.
it was part of
But
his
it was
undercover operation.
Let's say it was a beautiful drag queen. Yeah, it was beautiful.
What kind of support does MSC Belgium give the new Mister Leather Belgium? What can he expect from MSC?
We are always there for him. He can come with any questions to us, and he has his sponsors, so financially it's also a little bit covered. So no, everything.
I think from my perspective, just adding on the organization that looks after my title called the ECMC, the European Confederation of Motorsport Clubs. MSC Belgium 50 years ago were one of the co-founders. It took place in London, the original meeting alongside MSC Belgium, 7 other clubs joining. So there's a real strong history that MSC Belgium must and always has been keeping up to date with the fetish community here in Europe. So I think alongside adding what George has mentioned here, it provides stability and security for Jurgen to go out and enjoy himself, because they know that this title brings a lot of gravitas and strong history to this community.
That brings us almost on our first segment of this episode, and that is our news segment. And this time it's sponsored by Jeffrey's Bar in Antwerp.
Yeah. Jeffrey's Bar is a nice gay bar. Will of your people stay till a little bit longer? Are you all going home today? You're going home today? No, yeah, okay. Jeffrey's is a very nice bar here in Antwerp, so go visit the bar. Mark?
So
the news.
we are starting our Touristico Gaylive Podcast news, and it's a special Darklands edition. As you might have noticed this year, you are not alone here. The last couple of months there have been more than 16,622 tickets sold. These are all the tickets in pre-sale and include the tickets for all the events, the Alpha tickets, the Madness passes, the Alpha guests. During Darklands there are also 290 vendors present who are more than glad to help you in your new outfit for the coming edition of Darklands. Give them all a warm hand of applause, please. Yay. During the festival there are also a lot of shows like this one and more explicit ones than you can expect from us here today. There are in total 437 artists here for your entertainment. Please give them also a little applause. And a little quiz for our guests. Can you guess which Darklands event was the first one to sell out, completely out this year? Which event was sold out in a couple of hours?
Horse market.
This one.
Horse market.
No.
Market, indeed. The horse market was...
People, the tickets of the mares were sold in 1 hour.
So we know
This is a bottom event.
Yeah.
Really. Who was on horse fair? Who was on horse fair?
No, it was during the election, so...
I was on horse fair.
How was it?
It was good.
Oh,
yeah.
it was good. Okay, next
Was
year
it
again.
nice? I don't know. So I get older, so I need more Viagra every year I come here. So.
Did we allow donkeys?
Do you have other news?
Yeah. Darklands is also an international event. Kingsters from all over the world come to Antwerp, and some Kingsters had to travel more than 16,700 kilometers or more than 10,400 miles to get here because they came from Australia. And the most Darklands visitors here this week are from Belgium, Holland, Germany, the United Kingdom, France, the United States, Spain, and Switzerland.
I know. More and more people of the United States come to Darklands. Tobias, why you think people from the United States to here?
You said what appeals us to come here? Yeah. I think it's the sexual freedom. I mean, because we do have large events, but this is like crazy. It's ridiculous, and I love it. It's a sexual freedom.
Yeah. I always say, if an American guy comes to Europe, it's heaven. When a European guy goes to America, it's hell. Correct or not? If no. Because of the sexual thing, it's not so allowed in the United States. And here, you can do everything here, if you see that.
Well, you know what? Well, I disagree with that. Well, it is, but our events are more or less private events. I think because of the laws and different statutes that we have in the States, we have to make them private events, so the fee to get in and the entry point and the barriers are a little bit higher, where, you know, I can offer you to buy you a beer and say, well, do you want to fuck next? And it's like, yeah. So, I mean, it's just that difference. I mean, it's the same, but it's a little bit different.
Yeah.
But George, you were a lot of time on the international election in Chicago.
Yeah, correct.
How is it there?
It's just a big giant circus. It's completely different than here. Here we have the public vote. I didn't see that in the States. They have an Olympic scoring system. I don't think we have that in Europe. So it's quite different.
Yeah, and having been a judge last year at IML, the election is slightly different. Like he said, we dropped the highest and the lowest score. And we also look for different, well, I, as a judge, look for different characters in the contestants. I look for if they are active in the community, because if you're already doing the work in the community and you want to win IML, you should already be doing something that's going to elevate us to a higher level. So I think it's just slightly different, once again.
Okay, and last but not least, behind the bars and during the event, you might have noticed that there are also a lot of people helping to make this festival happen each year. You can recognize them at the yellow t-shirts. Behind the scenes, there is a crew of 216 volunteers working in more than 800 shifts. Please give them all a warm applause, because without them, there would not be a Darklands edition.
I am one of the coordinators, and you may guess what's my job here. Tom, what you think? I am coordinator. What you think it's my job here?
You as being a coordinator here.
Yes, but I have a specific job here.
Cleaning the dark room. I think I heard somebody. Somebody mentioned that. Chris, my partner. Is that one of several roles?
Really, I'm here already till 6 this morning, when everyone is going to sleep, to clean the shit.
Okay, if you want to help next year, Darklands is always on the lookout for new volunteers, so check out the website next year. We're closing this new segment and we're moving on to Tom. Maybe you can pass also a mic to Tom, that's also easier. Tom, 4 months Mister Leather Europe, how is it going? Are you still excited?
Yeah, the honeymoon phase is still definitely there. Actually, the T-shirt that both of you are wearing is from a real true inspiration of mine, Joe King. He was Mr. Leather Europe 8 years ago. He won't mind me saying that. I'm pretty sure 2016 time, and he was a true reason for me going for this European title. And it's more just around bringing that history of the ECMC to life. We're celebrating 50 years of this kind of umbrella community that helps out these other clubs around Europe, and for me to advocate that and to talk about that positively is quite a privilege. So I really hope until October, when I step down in Zurich, I can keep going with that momentum and feeling as positive as I am
But
now.
I follow your Facebook and your Instagram. You have a lot of events where you go. How do you find the time to do that? Because as a Mr. Leather Europe, they ask you everywhere, do you make choices to say, I go to this, but not to that?
Yeah, certainly. I think there are about 2 or 3 buckets that you can think of in terms of variables. One is thinking from your side as a European title, there are about 24 clubs that are within the ECMC, so it's kind of, that's your priority. Think of those 24 clubs. How are they doing? Which ones are thriving? Which ones aren't thriving too much? Where, which club can you go to for that weekend to prioritize a bit of a movement, give them a bit of gravitas, a bit of spunk, not in that way, to go out and say, look, there's this really fantastic event happening. We were in Bern last weekend. Bern is a city which, I don't know if many people know Bern, it doesn't really have a fetish scene, period, at all. But with the help of several other clubs from around the area, we went and bought 150 fetish folk there. We really raised the gravitas of all of those clubs, the title that was incorporated there. So these are kind of some things that I think about, as well as enjoying myself. You have to have a good mix of non-for-profit, for-profit, big, small, medium-level events, the prides as well as we talk about. So I'm always thinking at these events, which one am I going to go to that makes the boat go faster for that community?
Jurgen, you will have a lot of questions. Do you want to come to this? Do you want to come to that? Have you already thought, okay, how I manage it? Can you go to George for that and ask MSC, okay, how do I manage it?
Of course, I'm going to ask what the priorities are, and that's also good that they are there to answer questions or tips, as like what is sensible, or what should I look for, and what is a priority as a Mr. Leather. But also, I have a lot of holiday, so I'll manage to go. I would love to travel. I mean, that's also nice to, like you say, to build bridges. So, and I think I already started today to build this bridge. So, it's looking forward.
Is there an event that you're looking the most forward to as Mr. Leather Belgium?
London Pride.
I have an auto cue here, London. Okay.
Tom,
but I would like to go to Atlanta. I heard it's also so. Yeah, why not?
Tom,
I think I should take a Sabbath here.
Yeah. Tom, I heard somewhere that your love for leather and tight outfits started in Germany and with the mighty Power Rangers. Can you elaborate on that a little bit?
The mighty what?
The Power Rangers.
Oh, the Power Rangers, yeah. Does anybody here know Power Rangers? Somebody raise their hand, please, possibly. Yeah, so from my side, I think leather and more kind of lycra probably started, my fetish journey probably started with all of these American and Western-based cartoons and shows coming over to the UK channel. So Power Rangers, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh! So going more into that anime style, everybody was wearing very, very tight. It looked almost like latex, lycra, maybe leather. You couldn't tell because it was more cartoons. And I thought, damn, I want to wear something like that. It looks pretty nice, quite good on the skin, makes you feel all good. It's a bit odd linking that back to your childhood, but I'm sure everybody here in the audience has a similar kind of childhood experience.
So you were a sort of superhero.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, but everyone's a superhero deep down, baby. You know, it's...
George,
George,
is that something for you, the next election, superhero?
No, I'm stopping with elections.
Who wants to see George? Who wants to see George in a
For
superhero?
a while.
That's fun.
Okay.
Wonder Woman.
I will be great at that.
So that brings us on to our next segment, our Touristico Gaylive agenda. And there are a lot of coming fetish events coming up next month. Stan, you've got...
Well, when I was making the agenda, I thought, oh my God, there is a lot to do in the world. We have on 17 March till 24 March, LA Leather Pride Week. You go?
Oh, wow.
No, not LA, no.
Okay. Well, then you maybe can go on the 23rd of March to Palm Beach Pride. Okay?
Not going to that one.
And then the 26th is at Easter Berlin with the election of Mister Leather Berlin. I think you will go. Yeah, probably. And the 1st of April, it's Miami Beach Gay Pride. Very beautiful men over there. And the 11th of April is Cleveland Leather Annual Weekend in Ohio. You go there?
Yes, I'm on the board for Claw as well.
Okay. Who wants to see other cute men? 19th of April starts the Tokyo Rainbow Pride, okay? And then something I love, because we knew how bad it was, the 26th of April starts the Warsaw Fetish Weekend with Mr. Leather and Rubber Poland, and you all know how bad it was in Poland, and I know the gay scene in Warsaw is great.
It's going to be a good one, definitely.
Yeah. So a big of applause, we now can go back to Warsaw. The 3rd of March we have the Woof Week in Rio, Bear Week. On the 22nd of March we have Milan Leather and Fetish Weekend, so if you want to go to Italy. Then we go, the 16th of May, we go to Germany to the Cologne Fetish Pride, it's a big one. On the 23rd of May, it's the International Mister Leather election. Yeah.
There you go.
If you want to party, 19th of July, it's Extreme in Cologne. Yeah, very hard party. If you want to come back to our city, the 7th of August, we have one of the 10 best prides, the Antwerp Pride. You have to see it. And then you can go to Amsterdam on the 28th of November, the Amsterdam Sportswear Weekend, and in June it's the Rubber Weekend Amsterdam. So I think we have a lot of things to do, a lot in Europe, and yeah.
A lot of euros to hopefully save.
You go to some of the events?
Yeah.
What's on your guys, your agenda for the couple next week?
My agenda for next week? Well, also keep in mind that during the month of April, also April 19th, Austin Kink Weekend will be underway, and I will be keynote speaking at Austin Kink Weekend in Austin, Texas. So I think that's one to look for also.
Mark, I was forgotten, our agenda is sponsored by Twilight Bar. It's also a very nice gay bar where I come because it's smoothly, huh? Smoothly like
Okay.
that.
A quick overview, Tom, what's your next event?
It's Mother's Day next weekend, so I'm going to spend time with my mom.
And what you gonna buy her? She can't hear you now.
Me being there, because as we've said, it's so busy all the time. There's some lovely flowers. I think that's a safe answer, isn't it? And then the weekend after is my step down for Mister Leather London, actually. Unfortunately, it takes place during Munich. There's a Stark Beer Fest with the MLC celebrating 50 years, but with me, obviously, there are some priorities charities in London to step down, have our AGM that takes place, and find out who our next Mister Leather London is. It's very exciting.
So, Tom, maybe a question about that. If you step down as Mr. Leather, we will ask it to another guest too when he comes here. Is it something like you're falling in a black hole and say, okay, what do I do now? I don't know. What do you think? It's when you are doing a year Mister Leather Europe and then there is nothing, or am I wrong?
Well, I'll go for another title like what you've done.
No. George, then you get a fetish like George said he wants a new title.
Possibly. Well, we've got a keynote here. No, from my perspective, it's a really interesting question. I don't have any experience. I'm aware that it's a bit of a shock, really, to go back to reality sometimes, really, because of the amount of travel and representation that you do. Really, you are the ambassador, and you take a step back for somebody else to fulfill that role. The first thing is obviously Niels, for example, supporting Jurgen in his new role. So that's one thing that Niels can do. Work with MSC Belgium a little bit more. Click back into what his passions are as well. I know he loves Louis Vuitton and going over to Bond Street in London, so I think he's got some more time to do that, that's for sure.
You're also an ambassador for the London leather scene. What are the places that we can't miss in London when we are traveling over there?
In terms of leather and fetish, we've realized now that there are maybe 2 or 3 specific weekends of each month that are specifically for a certain fetish. There was a rubber weekend that we usually do that's the second weekend, so we've got a rubber social at a really well-known bar called Compton's, all social. There's Rubber Underground the day before, kind of one of our clubhouses, so for a rubber night. The third weekend of the month is a really busy one. Sometimes there's a Recon Cabaret that takes place at the Royal Vauxhall Tavern on the Thursday. That's every single season, so quarterly. On the Friday, there's a big event called Hunter, which has started kind of July last year. One of my dear friends, Brew, kind of organised at Electro Works in kind of Angel part of London. We've got our leather cruise event that's been taking place.
Is there a leather cruise? Is there a leather?
It's not a boat. That's been a common Q&A question. It's not a boat. I don't think the Thames would approve on us that. I don't think Richie Sunak.
Tom, do you know, at the same moment as Darklands started, there started a gay cruise here in Antwerp, the first one. It was a river cruise of Viva Cruises, Antwerp, Rotterdam, Amsterdam. Only with gay people, and at 4 o'clock they have tea time. I don't think there will be a lot of tea on that cruise, but...
It's certainly interesting, isn't it? I'd love to do something like that on the Thames, but the price of some things can be absolutely extortionate. And we can't do that over the House of Parliament, can we, darling?
Jurgen, what is your next event you're going to join?
I will go in April to Bear Weekend, and that was already foreseen. And then in May I go to Ibiza with family. And I would like to go to Gran Canaria for the sun. I always do it during winter, so I heard in October it's a fetish week, so it will be October or November. But I don't know. Also in August I have 1 month that I have holiday, so I should take a picture of the events going on because there's so many. So I should take
I will send them to you.
But really, every weekend there's something going on. I didn't know it was so busy. But lucky I have lots of holiday. Yeah.
Okay. That brings us to our fourth guest. He's the author of this beautiful book, Leather Mentorship. Please get it from him. You can let him sign it also. Why did you write this book?
I wrote the book for several different reasons. When people come into the kink fetish community, there are so many pitfalls that they can easily fall into. And myself, I was unfortunately one of those. And I wrote the book so that people did not have to be subject to abuse, manipulation, sexual predatory behavior, or sexual abuse. So I wrote it as like a guide. I wrote it as a guide to make sure that people knew exactly what they were getting into from the start to where they are.
Yeah. What are the key requirements for a mentorship to begin with a mentorship and to begin as a mentor?
Well, you know what? Anyone has the capacity to be a mentor, but when you're talking about leather mentorship, that makes it more specific. And that comes with a long lineage of knowledge and experiences that you want to literally pour into someone else. Not from a contrived standpoint where it's sexually charged or anything like that, though that does happen as long as it's agreed upon. But the elevation and longevity of our leather community is one of the major requirements that a person should have. So that's mainly what I look for when I'm mentoring someone.
What is so special about leather mentorship? What values do you like to give onto your mentee?
With my mentees, I like to pour everything that I know into them, though some are different. It comes with different levels of mentorship. Some are time frames, some are more dungeon experiences, because I used to do pro-dom work as well, and I used to call myself a glorified escort, though no sex was included in that. But from a pro-dom side, I taught shadow work from a deeper experience. Yeah.
How has the approach to mentorship and the leather scene changed about the last couple of years? Because it's more sex positive and inclusive than 10, 20 years ago, of course.
Well, you know, we really want to say that things are sex positive, but I mean, is it really? I mean, we talk about that and we say inclusion and diversity. You know, we use that so loosely because now we have more transgender, more non-binary of our siblings that are amongst our ranks. But are we really? I mean, we still subjugate all types of prejudices and divides that we really need to strip back and work even harder at those experiences to make sure that everyone is visible. So I think instead of just saying, you know, hey, all of us, we're diverse and we're inclusive, but we're really not. We need to really think about what we're actually doing to make sure that it is in concrete instead of just by words.
Yeah. It's also, the leather scene is also, it seems like it's a male-dominated scene, or isn't that so?
I think that it varies. From my experience, I think that Europe versus the United States is vastly different on how we look at male-dominated spaces. And I think that it's just different. Like in Europe, everyone is in the clubs and in the bars and, you know, women, birthday parties, bar mitzvahs, wedding parties and all of that. But in the States, as I said before, we have more of a controlled space where it's a private party or it's a private venue, and it seems more exclusive. And inclusive spaces where everyone is there, as well as exclusive spaces with male-dominated spaces, should be celebrated as well. I mean, there's enough room, as I was having a conversation with Gio, that there's enough space for all of us to thrive in individually what we want and what we want out of the community. So I think inclusion, not exclusion, but exclusive spaces should be celebrated as well.
Yeah. What is the most important value that you like to give your mentees with them?
I like to teach them authenticity, because when you show up as yourself, you don't have to apologize for anything or for anyone. So when you show up as yourself, that's who you are at that moment. The person that's in front of you now, I was not even close to that person in 2001 when I was collared, I'm not gonna cry, when I was collared under Sir Mario. And a lot of people, when they see me now in 2024, they never would have suspected that I was collared as a boy, as a submissive, as a slave under Sir Mario. But only through mentorship did I rise to this occasion of being a responsible person and responsible figure in the leather community.
Yeah. There are always red flags that can be happen in a mentorship. What are the red flags that we should watch out for as a mentor and a mentee?
There are so many red flags. I think that if someone is skeptical of you vetting them by me going to other members of the community that are prominent in my perspective community, if someone is threatened by you going to ask Gio, hey, do you know about Master Tebias? Is he okay? How long have you known him? Does he have any consent violations? And then going to the next person and asking, hey, you know, Tom, do you know about Master Tebias? Does he play safe? Is he okay? Is he mentally stable, do you think? So vetting is always positive. So the red flag that I look for, if someone is threatened by you, asking other members of the community about them, go the other way.
Mark, I want to ask a question to all the guests. There is a lot to do in the LGBTQ plus community about mental well-being. We have a lot of figures here in Belgium of LGBTQs who try to kill themselves. How do you think it's in the leather scene? Do you have the same problems over there?
Yeah, I think so. I heard it. I mean, I was at the stand of Sensua, the prevention of sexual prevention, and they say also like it's not only the sexual but also the mental issue that is getting more and more an issue. So we talk a lot. We have Messenger, we have Instagram, Facebook, but sometimes we live next to each other instead of with each other, and that's why we should say more like, hey, how are you? Really, how are you? Because not only say like, oh, it's fine, but at the end we're not fine. And I see it also when I'm teaching the transgender self-defense, it's also a big part is like the mental issue. So, and we are a lot of sensitive people here, the LGBTQ, and it's really, really important these days like to ask how are you and to support where it's possible. I'm teaching spinning class, so the physical part, and it's also important. Have good physics, lose yourself, do something creative. It's really important, but still also ask people around you, how are you? And hug each other. I mean, like Corona is finished, the distance is finished, so grab each other and just do whatever to help. Yeah.
But I think it's a little bit different. When I come here on Darklands, I love Darklands because if you are fat, if you are not fat, if you are ugly, everyone loves you because of your fetish and not because of you. How do you look? Mm-hmm. That's not when you go, for example, to another gay party. That's, I'm sorry I'm saying it, but it's like you have to be cute or young or something. When I come here, I feel myself better than at some other parties because everyone likes everyone here, or not. What do you think, Tom?
Yeah, from my perspective, so many people have fed that back about Darklands, not only in terms of people, in terms of who they look, who they represent themselves as, but also what their fetish represents about themselves. I think with these brand new fetishes that are coming into play, people will just kind of snap them up and say, oh, I don't like it, I don't want to see it, I don't want to know anything about it. But take a step back and be in their shoes. This might be the only weekend that they themselves can turn out, they can look how they want to dress and feel a little bit more better to it, not 100% compared to possibly traditional fetishes. So that's why somewhere such as Darklands is quite needed, really, because you can be your most, as you mentioned, I can't remember the quote that you mentioned, your most authentic self, thank you. So that's why, I don't know if that answers the question, but it's almost a follow-up from what you mentioned about the positive space of Darklands.
And if I can add just one more point, I think when you come to these large venues like this, there's a certain level of validation that each of us look for in each other. But I think that it starts long before you get to Darklands. I think that gay men or gay people, we just have tough skin, period. So when you come to these events, you should come with your own validation of yourself, because these events are large, people are sex positive, as we talked about earlier, and we need to come with our own level of toughness about who we are, first and foremost, because if you can't love yourself, in the famous words of RuPaul, how in the hell are you going to love someone else? So, yeah.
Amen to that. So Tobias, when does a mentee graduate and become a mentor himself?
That is a formal consideration. Sometimes it never ends. I've been with Master Bruce for 13 years now, and I don't think some relationships and contracts with mentee-mentor, sometimes it never ends and sometimes it evolves into family or dynamics or, other types of relationships. But I sometimes go with contracts of a year. If you want me to mentor you up to IML, that process is typically 6 months to a year, or wherever I get my hands on you. And sometimes it doesn't have contracts, but it also has contracts as well.
What does it stands in that contract? Is that what is possible or what is forbidden?
Yeah, it's basically like time frames. How much time do you have during the week to reach out to me so that we can go over certain key elements of your uniform, what you're going to wear, pecs and personality, keywords and hashtags, what you're going to present yourself as online, and community involvement, what you're already doing up to IML. Make sure you're visible, make sure you vet your judges, make sure you know the history of IML, things like that. I pour it's the small details into it, and it really is a service. It's not anything that I take off my back, out of my pocket, or anything. It's just my love for the fetish, kink, and leather community.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mark, I think I saw some winners on the floor,
Yeah,
so I think it's time to give away our awards.
Before we do that, I want to recommend this little book, Leather Mentorship. Where can they find it over in?
You can find it on Amazon under Leather Mentorship. My name is Tebias Perry. That's Tebias. It's not with the note. And you can type my name into the search engine, and
But
it's
you
there.
can buy it here too. Look in his beautiful eyes, and then he signs it for you.
Oh yeah, you can get it too. Yeah.
Good.
But Mark,
Yes.
for the people who don't know us, we are a podcast for Dutch-speaking people, Belgium and Holland, and every year we do an election. For Belgium and Holland, we do an election of some different categories, and one of them is best Belgium LGBTQ plus event of the year.
Yes.
And we had some candidates. We had Bear Pride Brussels. We had Unicorn Festival, Belgian and European Pride in Brussels, and Miss Travesty Belgium. But we won, Mark.
Yes, we've got the winner of the Belgium LGBTQ event of this year here. And we're here at Darklands, and they are the winner of this trophy.
And almost with 50%.
Yes,
So-
almost.
Okay.
More
We
of-
have Rocky. Rocky, come on the stage. Okay,
Here.
people give him an applause because he's the guy that makes all those shows here on the Mr. Regilio stage. So he does us good. Rocky,
There you go, Rocky.
you are coming already for many years to Darklands, and you work here for many years. Why do you think that people choose for Darklands?
It's just one big hell of a party. Sorry, my voice is gone. I'm messed up now. I sound like Ivana, the drag queen who's going to perform to...
Yeah, she was, I heard yesterday that she was hell already.
Yesterday she was dead.
She was dead.
Now
And she had a show in Brussels.
she's now in a coffin doing her makeup.
Congratulations to Darklands. You're going to give the award to, I think, Jeroen later. And
I keep it.
it's an award for all the volunteers that
will
work
keep
here,
it.
that's standing behind the bar, that and that makes this event every year one of the best of the world, I think.
Please give an applause for Darklands and Rocky.
But Mark,
Yes, let me
we have
over here.
Tom. I'm gonna let you give you the award.
Yes, you can
We
do the
have
honors.
also the Icon of the Year award, and we had some candidates. We had 20 years of gay marriage. We had Bram Birkes. He's the organizer of Mister Gay Belgium. George, something for you? Mr. Gay Belgium? No. 10 years of transgender info point, and then Geert, the former owner of the boots in Antwerp, but the big winner, and he did a big campaign. He did a big campaign.
And thanks to that campaign, he won the TGLPD CTS Icon Award for this year, Mister Leather Belgium and 2020.
not Leather Belgium.
Mr. Leather
yeah, Leather Belgium. Yeah.
2022 and Mister Europe 23. Mister, please welcome Andy Walgraaf.
I'm so proud of you. Way to go, Andy.
Andy, congratulations.
Thank you very much for this award. Well, it's very nice to be on this stage because my complete family is here. My grandmother, George, my son, Tom, and my new grandson, Jurgen.
I just became 18.
Well, you know that I have two real sons. And you know that they say Tobias is just a very good friend of mine. Yeah, because look what we both are wearing. Look.
Yes. Ding dong.
It's also a huge connection, I think. Now, you know, I have two real children, and you know what they say. Children, they are costing a house. Mine, they cost the house with a Mercedes and the room for a pony. That's the reason I don't have it. But these family members, they give me, they don't take. They give to me and they give to the community every day again. And that's the reason that I love them so much. Because if I see what they are doing, what George is like the messiahs in Belgium. I can say that?
Thank you, thank you.
And if I see what Tom is doing with the European title, I can only say I was this. Because he's doing a great job.
And Andy, what you're going to do with the awards? You're going to place them somewhere?
Well, you know that I work in the booths in the weekend.
Yeah.
And I agreed with Sammy that we will, because the booths already got some awards, and I work there. I could take it to home and I could put it on a shelf and look at it every day. But I think it's more important to put it on a public place. So we will.
We can also say, Andy, that you have a big ego, and that you want to show everyone in the booth that you won an award.
Well, I was surprised that it was on this stage because I was thinking, will my ego fit on it? Because let's not forget, we have my grandmother. We both have a huge ego. We have my son. Wow, well, he have a big ego. Well, my grandson, he will have a huge ego. So I think that we are the only normal ones here.
I don't know. Yeah, I'm ready.
A big thank you to you guys from Touristico Gaylive, because as I said yesterday to Mister Leather Belgium, cherish them because they take good care of you. They promote you and they support you. Thank you.
You are almost on the end of the Mr. Fetish World election.
Yes.
How far are we?
Well, yesterday it took the devil out of me, as you all could have seen. Still having some red and some black on my face that doesn't go up anymore. In about a half an hour, we will have the winner. And my husband is looking very naughty because he knows who is the winner. Can you say it in my ear? No. Fuck you. So I will go on stage.
No, there is a dark room for that.
Yeah, we did it yesterday. Well, I will go on stage.
Yeah, you have to run because it starts in 15 minutes.
It starts now, like I have to be there. So
good luck and run to your stage.
Please. Give an applause to Andy, please. So that brings us almost to the end of this podcast. What are your plans for today, gentlemen? What are we looking, or what are you looking out for the rest of this festival?
Well, I'm kind of hungry, so I'm looking for the MSC dinner tonight. But more importantly, I'm looking for the winners of the X Awards. Yep.
Yeah, you're nominated.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry, I am nominated, I'm sorry. But I'm looking forward to the winners of the X Awards as well.
Sound very boring answer, but probably the same thing, to be honest. Beforehand, I know that Mr. Fetish World is going to be taking place, but I do want to try and check out the ABDL social, because we were talking about these real new fetishes that have come into play, and I seek to just understand a little bit more of how it all came to play, really. So I'm looking forward to that alongside all of the X Awards.
Do you want to try out ABDL?
Sorry?
Do you want to try out ABDL?
I don't know. That's why I seek to understand, really. Who knows? We've got a few buddies who we know, reciprocation-wise, who could help us out. So who knows?
Jurgen, what's next for you?
Next for me, where is my manager here? No, man. No, I have to give out the reward later on, and then I'm looking forward for the dinner with MSC Belgium. There will be a huge dinner, but I will hang around and meet people, and yeah. It's the last day, so I have to take advantage of it, and tomorrow it's working day, so back to business.
No hangover tomorrow then?
No comment.
Okay. George, what's your next event here?
The next thing to do is clean up the second-hand markets, so that's a lot of work. Then we have the dinner, of course, that we host in Jurgen. And then the ferry party, and maybe the booths to support the local club. So,
guys, I want to thank you all for being here. We want to give you a present, and Belgium is famous for its beer, but also for something else. You know what?
Chocolate.
Chocolate. And I thought, we are in a good time, and you all love eggs, I think, but on another way. Okay, so we have for you real Belgian chocolate from one of the things.
Thank you.
So take them with you, and it's a nice surprise. Thank you all for being here for our Touristico Gaylive podcast. And
before we close up, where can they find you on the socials?
On the show tunes?
Socials.
Oh, my social media is, I'm sorry. My Facebook is Tebias Perry, and I have subgroups, Don't Be the Problem, Be the Solution. I have my Bulge page, which is my annual party that I do for 501c3 organizations, and I also have Instagram, which is Tebias Perry I am, and I also have my Leather Mentorship Instagram as well. Thank you.
I don't have a Twitter account. I don't. In terms of Instagram, TK Geared, kind of all one word, and then Facebook, Tom Keller. I think that's it.
Jurgen?
I just had to check it. It's on Facebook, it's Leather Guy Ghent, and on Instagram, it's Leather Guy Ghent 2024.
Okay, and George?
And you're also going to have the Mister Leather Belgium page, of course, that you have to run.
Okay. Touristico Gaylive, you can follow our podcast on Spotify and all the other, and iTunes, and you can follow us on Instagram, DJLPDCST. So follow us all. Thank you very much for being here. Guys, thank you. Enjoy Darklands, and maybe see you tonight at the party. A big applause for Georges, Jurgen, Tom, and Tebias.
Also, thanks to our sponsors, Jeffrey's Bar and Toilet Cafe. Give them a visit when you're next in Antwerp. And to Ben Tully for Touristico, who let us use our design of his designs. Please, thank you for being here. Until next time at the Darklands. Thank you.